I'm Suzi. People used to call me Sue. I'm 82. Oh yeah, a full 82. I didn't rehearse that. It just came out. And even now, saying it makes my throat feel tight, like the number itself carries weight. I've spent most of my life being good. Not loud good, not heroic good, just quietly useful. And only recently, painfully recently, I realized something that still startles me when I say it out loud. I mistook disappearing for love, and I was praised for it. I don't usually talk like this, without a task. Anyways, I was born in 1941. Small house outside Des Moines, thin walls, cold floors. My mother always busy, always tired. My father silent in that heavy way men were back then. From as far back as I can remember, being good meant not wanting too much. If I cried, I was told to be grateful. If I wanted something, I was told to wait. If I helped, that was noticed, so I helped more. I learned early love meant shrinking yourself until you fit into what other people needed, and I got very good at it. By 15, I was cooking dinners, folding laundry, watching my younger brothers while my parents rested. No one asked me to, and no one stopped me. I remember standing at the sink once, late 1950s, dishwater cloudy, hands wrinkled, looking at my reflection in the dark window and thinking, I don't know who I am when nobody needs me. That scared me, so I decided I'd make sure someone always needed me. I married Henry in 1963. I was 22. He was kind, steady, reliable. Everyone said I was lucky. We moved into a narrow house on Pine Street, yellow kitchen, curling linoleum. I learned what he liked before he had to say it. I learned how to smooth things before they became problems. I told myself, this is love. Anticipating, adjusting, giving up little things so the whole stays calm. That belief stayed with me for decades. The first crack wasn't dramatic. It was 1971. I was 28. Standing in a grocery store, cereal aisle, staring at 2 boxes, and I realized I couldn't remember which one I liked. I stood there too long. Someone sighed behind me, and I grabbed the familiar one, went home, and felt oddly ashamed, like I'd failed a test no one else saw. I had 2 children, Susan, then Mark. I loved them deeply. But even motherhood became another place where I disappeared. I was the calm one, the reliable one, the one who stayed up sewing, volunteering, listening. People said, "You're so selfless." I wore that word like armor, even when it started to feel heavy, even when something inside me went quiet. In 1984, I was 43. Susan was 17, sharp-tongued, bright. Mark was 14, already pulling away. One night, late, I was folding towels, TV murmuring, and I realized no one had asked me how I was. Not seriously, not in years. I told myself, this is adulthood. You give, and one day you rest. I believed in later. That belief lasted far too long. Henry died suddenly in 1996. Heart attack, quick. I was 55. People hugged me, said I was strong. I nodded, because that's what I did. What I didn't say, what I still hesitate to say, is that somewhere beneath the grief, there was relief, and that is something I still struggle to forgive myself for. After the funeral, after the casseroles, I stood alone in the living room, clock ticking too loud, and realized I didn't know who I was without someone to manage. So I stayed busy, church, neighbors, grandchildren, helping, fixing, filling space. I told myself, this is healing. It wasn't. It was hiding. In 2004, I was 63, Susan invited me on a short trip, just us, by a lake in Minnesota. We sat on the dock that evening, water dark, quiet, and she asked, "Mom, what did you want before everything?" I laughed, uncomfortable, small, uncomfortable, and said, "Oh, honey, I was happy." The lie landed between us, heavy, unfinished. That night, lying awake, I realized something painful. I had spent so long being needed, I no longer knew how to be chosen, even by myself. In my late 60s, resentment crept in. Quiet, embarrassing, watching younger women choose, change, leave, and wondering why I never felt allowed. I followed every rule, and no one handed me the life I postponed. Mark stopped calling regularly in 2015. No fight, just distance. I remember staring at my phone, face down on the table, thinking, I taught my children not to need me, and now they don't. That regret still sits with me. In 2019, something small changed everything. I was standing in my bedroom, closet open, looking at clothes chosen to blend, to please, to disappear. And I sat on the bed and cried. Not loudly, just steadily. And I realized I had spent my life being good and forgotten to be real. That realization didn't feel freeing at first. It felt terrifying. Because if I wasn't useful, who was I? I started small, painfully small, saying no without explaining, buying a book because I wanted it, sitting alone without apologizing. It felt wrong, like misbehaving. That's how deep it went. I turned 8 decades last year. No big party, just cake, a few calls. That night, alone, I looked around my house and understood something clearly for the first time. If my life ended then, people would say, she gave everything. Very few would say, she lived. And that broke my heart. There are things now I cannot fix, years I won't get back, versions of myself never lived. And I sit with that discomfort. I don't rush past it, because rushing past it is how I got here. You, yes, you, if you're listening and thinking, this sounds familiar, please hear me. Self-sacrifice that erases you is not love. It's quiet self-abandonment. You don't get a refund on your life. You don't collect yourself at the end and finally begin. Time doesn't work like that. I'm saying this gently, but firmly, because I needed someone to say it to me, and no one did. Choosing yourself does not mean abandoning others. It means showing up whole, not hollow. If there's something you keep postponing, a boundary, a desire, a truth, don't wait for permission. It will never come. I'm tired now. My voice feels thinner, and I think that's all I have. So please, after this, do one small, honest thing for yourself today. Not tomorrow, not when things calm down. Today. All right, that's enough.